Hello, everybody. How are you today? Welcome, welcome. And if you're here for the first time, it's so good to have you here. I'm Stephanie, aka Business Chic Mama. And if you're visiting for the very first time, I help creators start and grow their creative business online. I am a top 1% Etsy seller and I run multiple online businesses. And we have some people popping on already. That's Akio, or I'm so sorry if I'm not getting your name right, but I don't have my glasses on. But welcome, and if you are watching on YouTube, I would love it if you just take a moment to leave a comment, drop me a like if this video was helpful for you. But today, I am going to just speak about my journey. Some of you don't know my journey going from Accio. Okay, sorry about that. I want to know how to pronounce it. And anyway, so today is more just my journey to inspire all of you. It's not the tips and the strategies and the things that we want to like try to find exactly what it was that he did to, you know, be the catalyst to make all that money. This is just my story, and I'm going to share with you 8 tips on how to get started. Hey, Sarah, thank you for joining. So I'm going to go back to 2015, and that's when I am a fashion designer. I've been in the fashion industry for 20 years, and I decided to open an Etsy shop just with a few of my designs, and I was just dabbling in it. And, you know, I did okay. I actually, you know, I sold a few products. And, you know, this is my story of how I became a top 1% Etsy seller. So it's not sexy like everyone wants. You know, everybody wants like give me the thing that was the catalyst that made you successful. And that's what I'm trying to tell you on this Facebook Live. I want to show you the steps that I took, and then I'm going to give you those 8 different things that are going to help you understand that it's not just one thing. There's a lot of things that could attribute to your success. So anyway, so back to my story. And I was running multiple fashion design businesses, brick and mortar, and we had the real estate crash back in 2009, and I really started thinking about, you know, I need to start something else. And this kind of went on for years, just in case my brick and mortar stores don't do so well. I need to have something else on my plate. And I was always thinking of what I wanted to do. And I said, okay, well, I'm going to open my Etsy shop. So I opened my fashion design one under my label. And I really just dabbled, you know, like most Etsy sellers, they just dabble, which is a problem. Dabbling doesn't really get you anywhere. So I saw that my former boss in the fashion world was really doing well. I calculated her numbers because I saw how many sales she had. I saw her average sales price. So I'm like, she's doing like 6 figures a year. So I got to figure this out. So I decided that I wanted to start researching, and that was like the first thing that I did. Before just putting anything on Etsy, I started researching to see what people were looking for, what people were buying, and that is really important when you're starting an Etsy shop. You need to see what people are buying, and that's what I did. So I knew that, you know, people wanted jewelry making supplies, and I knew that they were obviously going to sell, but I also niched down, if you want to call it, and I started looking at what in the jewelry supply area can I niche down on. So I knew that the tassels, like, you know, different types of tassels were selling really well. And that's where I decided to kind of jump on board with the trend. Now, you know, obviously if you jump on board with a trend and you have your shop completely on a trend like a fidget spinner, you know, you could crash and burn quickly. But fortunately, tassels are always going to be in style and people are always looking for them. So I niched down into the tassel jewelry making supply, kind of like that niche. I sold other well, but I definitely gave people a focus when they came to my shop. So my shop is called Beaded Tassel Co. I'm at almost 16,000 sales as of now. I'll be reaching, you know, 6 figures multiple 6 figures this year, almost 200K part-time sales. And at the time I was also homeschooling my high functioning autistic daughter and running my business. So I had a lot going on. So this should be like something that is like a breath of fresh air. Like, I can do it too. Even though I'm working and I've got kids, I still can create a 6-figure Etsy shop. But you need to know what to do. So what I did was I committed to treat my business. The first thing I think that was helpful for me to succeed was I treated it like a business. So after, I would homeschool my daughter. I had employees in my fashion design business, which was great. So I still needed to run that business, but I still had time to work on my Etsy shop. And I would, if I was working during the day, I would come home at night and I would get to putting listings up every day. That was like the big thing. Every day, no matter what, even if I was tired, I took the pictures, I did the listings, and yes, the first few were horrific. They were horrible. And I just kept learning from all of my, data. I kept saying, well, okay, you put up one picture and this one really isn't working. So I started researching, like, what do I need to do? And everything was just trial and error in the beginning. So I started adding my products every day. And soon the sales started coming in one after the other. And then I was getting custom orders. And then I was just developing this little fan base. And this is without an email list, without Pinterest, without anything. This was completely organically from Etsy. And I was so determined to just continue, no matter how tired I was, to add my products every single day. I think it was at least 5 days a week that I added products. It might have been one product, it might have been 2 products, but I was committed. And soon I had 500 products on my site. And I know that was so crucial to my success, to have that amount of presence on Etsy. Some of you may be complaining, like, no one is seeing my products. And then I look at your shop and there's like 30 listings. And be realistic about why you're not, you have no presence. You don't have an email list. You have nothing. You have 30 little listings on Etsy and you're complaining you're not making 6 figures. So, you guys have to wake up. Seriously, you've got to start doing the work. And that's why I know for a fact that I became so successful. And I was listening to my customers. I wasn't being stubborn. People were asking for things. So I started, finding those things and creating those things for my customers. So there is just so much opportunity on Etsy. Etsy, in this down market last week with the coronavirus, Etsy was up 15%. That is, to me, a sign that Etsy is here to stay and a huge opportunity. So again, back to my story. Over the years, and this again is part-time while I was running other businesses. And that's where the consistency, the flexibility, and just the willingness to make those mistakes, because my first products, my pictures were horrible. I didn't know anything about SEO. I didn't know anything about tags. I didn't even use, I think I had 3 words in my first description. So I just learned, and I was willing to not beat myself up over, not succeeding like in 2 weeks. And it was that time, it was that commitment, it was the right product. It was working with my customers, being really efficient with the shipping and everything. That is really, in a nutshell, like I said, it's not the so sexy answer that everyone wants to know. What's the latest, greatest tip? What is, I want to know the next trend. And it's not always that. And if all of you can just stop, if you're struggling on Etsy, you need to stop for a moment and really analyze everything. Are you being stubborn? Are you looking at only like what you want and trying to force that on your customers? That's going to be really difficult to make a sale. There's so many different angles that you can look at when it comes to your Etsy shop. I really happened to hit a really great niche and I ran with it. And sometimes it's the wrong niche. So there's just, again, so many things that you can learn from just applying yourself. But that's why I want to give you 8 different tips to take away from this. You know, I just really, I work with a lot of, my students now. I have my courses now, and my whole Etsy shop. This Etsy shop was the catalyst to my coaching business. So it's crazy the opportunities if you are, if you really open your mind to what is possible, there's unlimited possibilities out there. So I want to talk about the 8 different things that can help you maybe reframe your thinking or change direction a little bit. But the first one is to pick a niche. And if for some reason your niche isn't working, you might have just the wrong products in your niche. I see this sometimes where someone will pick a great niche where it's really popular, but they've got the wrong products. And let me see if I can give you an example. Let's say that you are selling, baby products, and for some reason, your niche, like your customer wants like personalized products. I don't know why, but sometimes that happens, and you're not selling anything that's personalized. And sometimes you get customers asking for personalization, and you say, no, I don't do personalization. And you're getting the hints from your customers, but you're refusing to look at them. So it's time to maybe say, hey, let me see how I can start doing personalization in my niche. And if you're just starting out brand new, this is just going to take trial and error of testing a bunch of new products to see what people are going to react to. That just takes time, like I did when I was, building my almost multiple 6-figure Etsy shop. Number 2, everybody's story is different. Everyone's shop is like a fingerprint, and there may be 2 shops that seem very similar, but everything about them is probably different, from the way that they respond to their customers, to the way that they ship their products and their packaging, they use print on demand or not, where their resource designs. So don't compare your business to anyone else. Now, I definitely recommend to go research your competitors and to look and see what your competitors are doing, because this is going to give you a lot of information to use in your shop. Because don't reinvent the wheel. Give people what they want. If your product isn't selling, it's obviously not what they want. So go ahead and see what people are looking for. So just that comparison game is only going to hurt you, and it's only going to make you feel bad about yourself, because you're looking at the success of everybody else that's been around the block for a while. So just stick to what you, the best attributes of what you're giving to Etsy and your shop, and just make it better by researching your competitors and doing it better than them. Number 3, get out of your own way. Again, I see this so much, that Etsy sellers and business owners are really stuck because of themselves. They cannot get out of their own way. They're overthinking things. They are trying to get 100% clarity before they make a step. And that's what I mean by just get out of your own way. Put your products out. If they're wrong, you'll get feedback to see if what you need to do to correct them. And this is a huge, and unfortunately, I see it a lot, even in my coaching business and online. So get out of your own way. Just commit to making messy action, and then you clean it up as you go. Number 4, show up like a real business. This is what I did to create that awesome Etsy shop. I showed up like a real business. I didn't show up when I just felt like it. I showed up when I was tired, when I was working all day, homeschooling my daughter. It was something that I committed to. I committed to myself, and it really paid off. I made it happen. No one else did this for me. No one, and I only advertised. I didn't even advertise in the beginning. Now I only advertise like $1 a day, $1.50. So this isn't even coming from advertising. It came from all organic traffic. And I know that the algorithm did change a little bit, but that has not really changed my shop. What changed my shop is me showing up. When I don't show up, my sales go down. When I show up, my sales go up. Okay, so show up and commit. Say, okay, I'm going to add one or two products a day. I'm going to, maybe work on my descriptions, and I'm going to add a video so my customers can come to my shop and say, wow, look at a behind the scenes video. They want to know more about me and more about my process, and that makes them feel connected, and something that is really going to connect you to the customer, which is really important in 2020 and beyond. Okay, and I know some more of you are popping on, but for some reason I can't see who popped on. So I'm sorry if I am not saying hi. I don't know why. Okay, stop. I wrote these down so I don't forget. Okay, stop the blame game. A lot of people now in business are just blaming everything. They're blaming anything from, well, I just don't have enough time, or, the dog ate my homework, or, well, she has all the free time in the world. So, there's just excuses, there's blaming, and just, a real entrepreneur, someone that is serious about making money, they don't their energy on blaming the algorithm change. They just find what to do and to go to, what they need to do to change it, to go to the next level. And that's why blaming is just a waste of energy, and it's a really immature way of running your business. If you're always blaming, well, my worker didn't show up, well, this didn't happen, and you're never going to be able to have a successful business just blaming all the time. Take ownership of everything and see how you can make things work despite all the problems that, we're always going to have problems around us. What can you do to change them and stop blaming everything? Oh, well, this one, I had a coach and she steered me the wrong way. Well, you know what? It should not be an excuse for you to go forward. This should not be an excuse to, just listen to every single word that, you've got to trust your intuition as well. You can't be following people and then listening to everything, trying everything, and it doesn't work, then blame them. So stay with me on here, because it's hard to hear that sometimes, because blaming is just like the scapegoat, because it's like, otherwise we got to look at ourselves, it's like, it's hard. Okay, number 6, be flexible. Again, another thing that I see here is that people are not being flexible. And they're so stuck, I'm going to do this and that's it. And they get feedback, and still people don't want to buy their products, but they're still stuck on what they want to do because they know it's going to work. Now, that is a good quality, but you got to know when to fold them, when to hold them and when to fold them. And that is when you are, let's say you have something and you have enough data to see if your product is working. On Etsy, I like to give it if you've been on Etsy about 3 months, you're adding products consistently, you have over 100 products and you have not made one sale, you've tried changing your SEO, you've tried changing your descriptions, you need to look at your products. You need to see if people are showing up and not buying. You need to understand your conversion rates. And then you need to make a decision. Say, okay, I've put a lot of energy into this, but let me go and see what people are looking for. And that's what I mean by being flexible. I've made so many mistakes in my 20 years of being in business. I have these great product ideas and I just put them out, searching, and those are not the products that are selling. So do your due diligence, be flexible, and do your research, and be willing to change, and just be smart about that. Okay, 7, action trumps knowledge every day of the week. And it's important to learn, as you are doing right now. And I do appreciate every one of you for being on this Facebook Live, because I know that you want to learn, you want to glean information. So that's why I try to keep these very short. I don't want to waste your time. I want you guys to be working. But if you're not taking action, seriously, how can you start a business? If you are not getting products up on your Etsy shop or your business, how can you see results? Another problem that I see with Etsy sellers and entrepreneurs is that they take all this information in. They think by learning, all of a sudden, just through osmosis, products start to appear on your Etsy shop. You must take action, even if it's the incorrect action. because action will lead to clarity, and clarity will give you the path. If you don't take action, you're going to be stuck so far behind. And that's what I have learned so much when I am with my coaches coaching me about action trumping knowledge every day of the week. And that's what I did when I created my beaded tassel company. I just took action. I didn't know what I was doing, but I kept taking action every single day. And then that clarity, it just came within months. I was so clear on my audience. I was clear on pictures. I was clear on everything, even though some of my products were terrible and they did not sell, but it started making sense. Okay. So I hope that tip was helpful, because a lot of you are struggling with that. You want everything to be perfect before you get yourself out to the world. And that's like the worst thing that you can do. And then the last and most, really something that is not a lot of people talk about, but it's 8, is invest in your personal development. So I know we have so much that we want to learn on a daily basis, and so many books we want to read, and so many courses we want to take. But what I would suggest is just having a balance. Do a little bit each day on your personal, I got some thumbs up there, a little bit each day on your personal development. For me, my personal development over the years as a Christian woman, I have studied the Bible. I have had Bible studies in my house. And the Bible for me it's just amazing, the wisdom that I glean from God's word about business and who I am as a person, my integrity, how I want to show up. And it just infiltrates into like everything that I do. So, Sundays are a must. I am in my Bible-based, church, and it's amazing. And then I also read books. Well, actually, I shouldn't say I read books. I listen to podcasts. I just got a new book. This is one of my new books, which is Picking Niches, because I'm always expanding my mind for my future, my goals, because there's so much that I'm going to be accomplishing in my short-term and long-term future. But personal development can just be putting in your earbuds, when you're on the treadmill, instead of listening to music, drop in a business podcast. I love James Wedmore. He's amazing. He has really transformed some of my thinking. And I really, whatever it is, Amy Porterfield, there are just dozens and dozens of business coaches and mentors that you can listen to. And even one little bit of information can change everything about your business, the way you show up, your encouragement, you feel empowered, and this will help you get through your days where you're not feeling so good. So personal development is so, so important. And I notice there's a direct correlation for people that are constantly trying to look at themselves and not blame and actually take ownership for everything, and their level of success. And the people that are not willing to look at anything, not willing to change anything, their success stays stagnant or even starts to, take a turn. And it's super, super important to be motivated, inspired, and to know that you have there's no limit to your abilities. There is no limit to what you want to accomplish. The only limitation is truly in your mind. And it's already at 25 minutes. I just can't believe I can ramble on at 25 minutes, because 2 years ago when I started doing this, I was like, I had to actually write down every single word that I was saying, because I was so uncomfortable. And again, this is what I mean, guys. Put yourself out there, be uncomfortable, do the work, and then all of a sudden you can do whatever you want. Like, you can talk on a Facebook Live and not have to look at, not read from a script. You can do whatever you want. I am going to be opening up my Kickin Business Bootcamp. Probably we're going to be doing like a 3 free session it's for all of you guys that are struggling and you still don't know how to put it all together. It's going to be membership, and I will leave the link. Just make sure that you guys are looking in your inbox for the invite. And this is going to be like an amazing thing that I'm going to be, developing because I see all the struggles and I want to help all of you, but I want to help you in like the shortest amount of time possible without having to spend a lot of time trying to figure everything out, because it took me 2 years in my coaching business to figure all this stuff out. Anyway, that's it for today. If you have any questions, just pop them in right now. And again, I don't know why I can't see everybody that has popped on, but if you have any questions, drop it in the box right now. If not, make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel, and please, if you have any questions at all, support@businesschicmama.com. I love helping you out, grow your business shops, grow your dreams, work from anywhere, work from home. At least that is my lingo, work from anywhere. That's kind of my thing, what I've been working on the past 2 years. And I'm going to be sharing all that with you in the Kickin Business Bootcamp coming up. All right, guys, hope this was helpful. And I know it's not so sexy, but it's the truth. And as Tony Robbins says, and I will leave you with this, follow successful people and model what they do. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. Just follow what they do, and you will just like light years ahead. You will start to see results come in because they carved the way ahead of you. Don't reinvent the wheel, guys. All right, take care, and I will see you guys in the next YouTube Live, Facebook Live, and have a great day, guys.